2 quarterbacks, 1 draft class, 4 total Super Bowl championships. One was bigger, more efficient, more productive, and won nearly 2/3 of his regular season starts. The other finished his career with an exactly even record and somehow became the final boss of the greatest dynasty in NFL history. Ben Roethlisberger gave the Pittsburgh Steelers almost 2 decades of consistent contention. Eli Manning gave the New York Giants 2 playoff runs that made absolutely no sense and will be replayed until the sun burns out. So which career would you rather have? The better quarterback over the full journey, or the quarterback who delivered the more unforgettable destination? Today we compare Ben Roethlisberger and Eli Manning. 6 categories, 1 check in each, evidence over emotion. Let's settle it. What's going on, everybody? I'm Jake Adams, and welcome back to Jake Adams Sports. This is Versus, the series where we compare legendary athletes 1 category at a time using the same 6 criteria: production, peak, accolades, team success, longevity, and legacy. The purpose is not to insult one player so we can celebrate the other. Both of these quarterbacks had careers almost anyone would trade for immediately. And I mean almost anyone, because Tom Brady would probably ask what else was included in the deal. Our goal is to build the strongest case for both players, add the proper context, and then reach a fair verdict. And few quarterback comparisons create a stranger argument than this one. The story begins in the 2004 NFL Draft. Eli Manning was selected first overall by the San Diego Chargers, despite making it clear that he did not want to play for San Diego. The Chargers drafted him anyway and then traded him to the New York Giants for a package built around Phillip Rivers. Ben Roethlisberger waited until the 11th pick when the Pittsburgh Steelers selected him out of Miami University in Ohio. From there, their careers moved at completely different speeds. Ben stepped in as a rookie after Tommy Maddox was injured and immediately went 13-0 as a starter during the regular season. Eli took over in New York, lost 6 of his first 7 starts, and looked considerably less comfortable. Ben entered the league like somebody had accidentally lowered the difficulty settings, and Eli entered like the game had not finished installing. But by the end, both men had become inseparable from their franchises. Roethlisberger played 18 seasons, all with Pittsburgh. Manning played 16 seasons, all with the Giants. And each won 2 Super Bowls. The similarities make the matchup interesting. The differences make it difficult. Let's check the scoreboard. We begin with career production, and this is Ben Roethlisberger's strongest category. Ben finished with over 64,000 passing yards, 418 touchdown passes to just 211 interceptions, a 64.4% completion rate, and a career passer rating of 93.5. Eli finished with 57,000 yards, 366 touchdowns to 244 picks, a 60.3% completion rate, and an 84.1 passer rating. That gives Ben more than 7,000 additional passing yards, 52 more touchdown passes, 33 fewer interceptions, and a passer rating nearly 10 points higher. This is not just Ben accumulating larger totals because he played longer. He was also clearly more efficient on a per attempt basis. Ben's career was built around extending plays. He was enormous, difficult to tackle, and perfectly willing to hold the ball until every offensive lineman had developed a personal grudge against him. Sometimes that created magic. Sometimes it created a sack that could have been avoided approximately 6 seconds earlier. But at his best, Roethlisberger could shake off pressure, reset outside the original structure of the play, and attack downfield. Eli's production case is built more heavily around volume and durability. He threw for at least 3,000 yards in 13 consecutive seasons and surpassed 4,000 yards 6 times. That is excellent consistency. But Ben leads in volume, efficiency, touchdowns, turnovers, and victories. This is the largest gap in the matchup. Production goes to Ben Roethlisberger. Category 2, peak. Eli has one enormous argument, the 2011 season. In that season, he passed for almost 5,000 yards, produced 6 fourth-quarter comebacks, and 7 game-winning drives, and then led the Giants through one of the hardest postseason routes imaginable. New York defeated Atlanta, then a 15-1 Green Bay team at Lambeau Field, then San Francisco on the road, then Tom Brady and the Patriots in the Super Bowl. Eli passed for 1,219 yards during that postseason, which was an NFL playoff record at the time. That was not a quarterback being dragged to a championship. Eli was outstanding. But when we compare their complete peaks and not just their best postseason, Ben has the stronger body of work. His best statistical season came in 2014, when he threw for nearly 5,000 yards, 32 touchdowns, only 9 interceptions, and posted a 103.3 passer rating. He tied Drew Brees for the league lead in passing yards, and this was a part of a larger stretch in which Ben became one of the NFL's most dangerous high-volume passers. From 2014 to 18, he made 4 Pro Bowls, surpassed 4,000 yards 3 times, and led the league in passing yards twice. Eli reached a tremendous level in 2011. Ben maintained a higher regular season level across multiple seasons. Eli's best year belongs in this conversation because the postseason is part of a player's peak. But we cannot allow the peak category to become team success wearing a fake mustache. Looking at efficiency, sustained performance, and best regular season play, Ben has the edge. Peak goes to Ben Roethlisberger, and he leads 2 categories to 0. Moving on to personal accolades. Neither quarterback won a league MVP. Neither was selected first-team All-Pro. That immediately separates this matchup from the careers of Brady, Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers, or Patrick Mahomes. Ben made 6 Pro Bowls. He won Offensive Rookie of the Year in 2004, and he led the NFL in passing yards twice. Eli made 4 Pro Bowls and never led the league in a major passing category. So based purely on regular season recognition, this check belongs to Ben. But Eli possesses the 2 biggest individual awards held by either player. 2 Super Bowl MVPs. One after defeating the undefeated Patriots in the Super Bowl, and another after defeating New England again 4 years later. The championships themselves will be evaluated in team success, but the Super Bowl MVP is an individual honor, and Eli won it both times he reached the game. Ben won 2 championships, but he was not named Super Bowl MVP in either victory. In fact, his performance in the Super Bowl against Seattle was rough. Only 9 completions, 123 passing yards, no touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. The Steelers won anyway. Hines Ward received the MVP that year. Ben has more regular season honors. Eli has the 2 most prestigious individual awards in the comparison. The category is close, but the Super Bowl MVPs break the tie. Accolades goes to Eli Manning. Ben leads 2 categories to 1. Moving on to Category 4, team success. Both quarterbacks won 2 Super Bowls. That is where the easy comparison ends. Ben reached 3 Super Bowls, winning after the 2005 and 8 seasons before losing to Green Bay after the 2010 season. He appeared in 23 playoff games and finished with a postseason record of 13-10. Eli reached 2 Super Bowls, won them both, and finished 8-4 in the playoffs. Ben threw for nearly 6,000 postseason yards and 36 touchdowns. Eli threw for just under 3,000 yards and 18 touchdowns in half as many playoff games. Eli's case is not about quantity, it's about quality. He went 8-0 across his 2 championship runs. In 2007, the Giants won 3 consecutive road playoff games before defeating an 18-0 Patriots team that many people believed could become the greatest team ever. In 2011, the Giants finished the regular season only 9-7, then won 4 straight postseason games and defeated the New England Patriots again. Apparently, if Eli saw Bill Belichick across the field in February, he temporarily became Joe Montana. Those 2 runs were better than any individual postseason Ben produced. But team success covers the entire career. Pittsburgh reached the playoffs far more often with Roethlisberger. Ben won 5 more playoff games, reached 1 additional Super Bowl, and quarterbacked a contender across several different versions of the Steelers. Eli's Giants made the playoffs 6 times during his career. Ben's Steelers reached the postseason 12 times during his 18 seasons, although he missed their 2019 season almost entirely because of injury. Eli produced the more spectacular championship moments. Ben produced the greater total amount of team success. The margin is narrow, but the category belongs to the Pittsburgh quarterback. Team success goes to Ben Roethlisberger, and he now leads 3 categories to 1. Now moving on to Category 5, longevity. Eli Manning deserves enormous credit here. He started 210 consecutive regular season games. He never missed a game because of injury. For a quarterback who spent years standing behind some questionable Giants offensive lines, that is less a durability statistic and more evidence that Eli may have been built in a laboratory. Ben was not as consistently available. His style invited contact and injuries accumulated, knee problems, shoulder injuries, broken bones, and eventually major elbow surgery that cost him almost the entire 2019 season. But longevity is not only consecutive starts. It also measures how long a player remained effective. Ben played 18 seasons compared with Eli's 16. He appeared in 249 games compared with Eli's 236. After elbow surgery, Ben returned at age 38 and threw 33 touchdowns while helping Pittsburgh begin the 2020 season 11-0. Eli's decline came earlier. By his final seasons, the Giants had begun transitioning towards younger quarterbacks, and Manning lost the starting job on 2 separate occasions. Eli wins the durability portion, but Ben wins career length, total games, late career production, and sustained effectiveness. Longevity goes to Ben Roethlisberger. Ben has now clinched the matchup 4 categories to 1, but legacy still matters. Ben Roethlisberger is the greatest quarterback in Steelers history. He gave one of the NFL's most successful franchises stability at the most important position for nearly 2 decades. His career will be remembered for his size, toughness, improvisational style, 2 championships, 3 Super Bowl appearances, and one of the best winning percentages of his era. When Ben retired, he ranked 5th in NFL history in passing yards. That is a major legacy. But Eli Manning's legacy occupies a stranger and perhaps more permanent place in football history. People do not remember Eli because he was consistently one of the league's 3 best quarterbacks. He was not. They remember him because he delivered when the moments became historic. The escape from the Patriots' pass rush, David Tyree's helmet catch, the throw to Mario Manningham along the sideline 4 years later, 2 championship-winning drives against New England, and of course, preventing the 2007 Patriots from completing the first undefeated season since the Miami Dolphins. Ben was the better quarterback more often. Eli became the central character in 2 of the most replayed Super Bowls ever played. Legacy is not just about statistical superiority. It is about what remains in the public memory, and Eli's championship moments have become part of NFL mythology. Legacy goes to Eli Manning. And that makes our final scoreboard Ben Roethlisberger 4, Eli Manning 2. The final verdict: Ben wins production, peak, team success, and longevity. Eli wins accolades and legacy. The final score is 4 categories to 2. And the reason Ben wins is straightforward. Across the full sample of their careers, he was the more productive, more efficient, and more consistently successful quarterback. He threw for more yards and touchdowns. He threw fewer interceptions. He maintained a higher peak. And he won far more regular season games. And his teams remained in championship contention more consistently. Eli's argument depends heavily on 2 postseasons. But those postseasons were so extraordinary that they permanently changed how his career is remembered. Ben gave you the better chance to contend year after year. Eli gave you 2 perfect championship runs, including one of the greatest upsets in American sports history. That distinction matters. A 4-2 score does not mean that every category was equally decisive. Ben's production advantage was enormous. His team's success advantage was much smaller. Eli's legacy victory may be the most debatable check of the entire episode, but when all 6 categories are complete, Ben Roethlisberger owns the stronger overall resume. The numbers tell part of the story. The context tells the rest. Now I want to hear from you. Would you rather have Ben Roethlisberger's sustained success or Eli Manning's 2 legendary championship runs? And which category do you disagree with most? Team success, accolades, legacy? Let me know in the comments because I have a feeling Giants and Steelers fans will calmly and respectfully solve this debate. That is generally what happens on the internet. If you enjoyed this comparison, hit the like button, subscribe to Jake Adams Sports, and share the video with someone who still believes quarterback debates can be solved by yelling rings and immediately leaving the room. This is only episode 3 of Versus, and we are building something much bigger. More quarterbacks, more eras, more sports, one category at a time. I'm Jake Adams, this is Jake Adams Sports, and I'll see you in the next matchup.